Hello everyone, in this video I'll be covering new mods in Baldur's Gate 3's mod manager, as well as if they're going to be coming to console. Now I've done my research and it looks like a lot of these will be coming to console, but I'll be covering all of that in this video. We got some really exciting things like new weapons such as Miracle's Scythe and the Watcher's Great Sword, so a few new weapons there. Tasha's Cauldron Feats, so new feats in the game. We also have new races like the Olympic Bronze, which is a pretty cool looking one here, and also some classes like the Blood Rager, the 5e Spirit Bard, which is a nice subclass. We also got this subclass for the Giant Barbarian. Oakheart Sentinel is one of my favorite mods in the mod manager. The Worm Swarm, I want to highlight these two in particular because they're incredible mods and they recently got updated. We also have Mistress Spells here, which is a 5e spells mod, similar to the 5e spell mod. We also got Elemental Cantrips, some other mods allowing you to use people like Ketheric, Gortash, and Orin as your hirelings, and then also some new additions to meta magic, which was cut content. So got a lot to cover in this video, so we'll first off start off with some of the classes. So I'll also show off the feats alongside this here. So first things first, I want to show the Spirit Bard because I think this one is really cool. Big fan of this. So you can look into the subclasses here, and we have the College of Spirits. So what this looks like is we got ourselves the cantrips there, giving us the Tales of the Beyond, so call upon the spirits to tell a tale through you, and this uses your bardic inspiration. Now this has a variety of different effects. It's actually really cool. And then you also get the Guiding Whispers, which is basically just the guidance cantrip. And you can see here I have a bunch of different spells. This is from the Mistress Spells mod, so 120 plus new spells. Incredible amount of choice here. I'm just going to go with the College of Spirits here, and then I can show off some of the abilities that you get with this. So I think it's a really fun class because you get ourselves the Tales of the Beyond here, and it's going to give us a random buff, so we'll just use this here, see what it is. And we got ourselves Wild Magic, Astral Anomaly. Give two allies the ability to teleport as a bonus action. So that's pretty cool. So you can just go here with the Tail of the Runway, give two allies the teleportation, so we can just give it to two of them here. And then we go to Shadowheart, and she's going to have a bonus action teleport. I believe it does have to be while you're in combat, so that's why it may not be appearing here. But it's nice, so you can get some extra teleportation around. Super cool. Yeah, it should appear in the final one there. So yeah, this is nice because it gives the bard some extra options for in terms of survivability and a little bit of extra bonuses for the team. Now with this, there's some other options that you do get. So Guiding Whispers at level 3. This mod is made by Ellipsoid314. You get the Tales of the Beyond. Spiritual Focus Healing, do an extra 1d6 of healing at level 6. And you can choose the damage, giving you 1d6 extra damage with damage spells. Spirit Session, learn a divination or necromancy spell from any class, lasts until long rest. More options as you level up. And at level 14, we get the Mystical Connection. Once per short rest, select a specific tale from Beyond to learn, not random, so you don't get the randomized ones. And no reroll for Mythical Connections, and you get to choose a specific tale once per short rest. So pretty cool. There's a lot of different options that you can get with this, so what this ends up looking like in practice is I'll do another one just to show it off. But super cool. Tales of the Beyond, there's a bunch of different options. There's I think 10 to 14 depending on where you're at. Give two allies a 1d6. So this is basically beloved friends with temporary health points. So you can heal your team here. So we'll give them the temporary health. Super cool. Tales of the Beyond, beloved friends. There's 10 different effects for this one, so it gives you a lot of different role-playing ability as a bard in the party. I think that's really cool, and I'm a big fan of this. I was excited for this one to come because this was a mod that was previously on Nexus Mods, and it's now in the in-game mod manager. Very likely to also come to console. So on top of this, I'll also show off the Path of the Giant's Barbarian, because this is a cool new one. I have some other ones here, but the Path of the Giant, this is the mod manager version of it. So this gives you a crushing throw, pick up an item, creature, and throw it, dealing additional damage and knocking it prone for one turn, which is really nice. Because if you can knock someone prone and put plant growth down, they're stuck. And also the Giant's Havoc. So your rage pulls strength from Primal Might Giants. You get the crushing throw and giant stature. You can also make an improved improvised weapon attack as a bonus action. And yeah, this is a cool one. So basically what this does is this is made by the Tatum. So they made some other mods that are pretty popular that I've covered in the past. So the Horizon Walker, which just got released on console yesterday. So it's very likely we'll see the Swashbuckler Rogue and the Path of the Giant's Barbarian come down the pipeline eventually. So you get the Thaumaturgy, Giant's Havoc, so you get your Giant stature, size increase, weapon adds attacks add a bonus 1d4, and the affected entity has advantage on strength saving throws, carry capacity is increased by 25%, stacks with the enlarged spell and the elixir to Colossus. So you can put both those together. Pretty cool synergy. At level 6, you get the Elemental Cleaver. So basically what this does is it gives you the an extra, or you gives the elemental mites of the giants, so you can infuse weapons with primordial energy. I'm just going to level up to show off what this looks like. So with this, you can go ahead and add a damage type while you're in your rage, and it gains a throwing property, so you can throw it and deal damage. If it's thrown, it immediately reappears in the barbarian's hand. So that's really cool, because previously you weren't able to do, let's say we wanted to throw a great sword, so we got Guts great sword here. We can actually go ahead, apply the, I guess we had to be in our rage, but you could go ahead here and apply lightning damage to it and then throw the great sword. So this is cool, giving you a bunch of different options in combat. I think that that's incredible. And on top of this, at level 10, you get the Mighty Impel. Your connection to the Giant Strength allows you to hurl both allies and enemies in the battlefield. Pick up an item, any medium or small creature. Throw it, dealing additional damage and knocking them prone. Your strength and size affects how much weight you can throw. If you're large, you can throw any medium creature. If you're huge, gargantuan, you can throw any large creature. Larger items deal more damage. The damage of the throwing weapons is the same as the melee damage. You can deal additional damage based on your strength. Additionally, your strength modifier times 2 to your throw distance, so you can throw things really far. This is like a thrower on, on 100. It's very strong. So it gives us some different balances. I think that the Tatums did a great job with the Horizon Walker, the Giants, and their Swashbuckler Rogue. So I had to put some respect on this, because I really liked what I saw with this class. And I guess we'll show off some other classes as well, but I want to show off some feats too. So I'm just going to level up here to show off the Tasha's feats, which we get a lot of new ones here. So look at the feat list. This is with 2 different feats. So not the Tasha's feats you're probably thinking of. This is FEAT feats. So a bunch of different ones here. Basically, I'll show it off here. Eldritch Adept, you learn Eldritch Invocation. Fey Touch, you add your charisma, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, increase it by 1 to a maximum of 20. And you learn level 1 spell from Divination or Enchantment School. Fighting Initiative, you get a fighting style. Meta Magic Adept, you get 2 Meta Magics and 2 sorcery points. Not enough to do a quicken spell, but that's still pretty nice. Telekinesis, you increase your mental stats by 1. Choice of charisma, wisdom, or intelligence, and you also get mage hand. As a bonus action, you can telekinesically shove an opponent. Telepathic, also the mental stats, and choose one to pick one up to increase by 1. You also get detect thoughts, and they're going to be adding the chef, piercer, poisoner, shadow touch, skill, expert, and slasher. Not adding the artificer, initiate, or gunner, but I do have a lot of them here, so there's there's a few different looking ones. They kind of blended together, but yeah, you can see Eldritch Adept, you get to pick one of the Eldritch Invocations. Devil Sight being my favorite, so you can go with that and be able to see in the darkness. Fade Touch gives you those bonuses, plus you get to pick up passive or a spell here. Fighting Initiative, you can give yourself the +1 armor class. Meta Magic Adept, a bunch of different choices here. Telekinetic, you can telekinetically shove a creature as a bonus action. And Telepathic gives you that detect thoughts. So really good choices here. I also have a ton more feats, because there's a lot of feat mods, but this one was just added, so I thought it was quite nice to cover in here. So that is what that looks like. And I'll show off now the Wormsworn, which I think is a really cool class, and the Oakheart Sentinels. So these 2 classes, I think more people should download them. This one only has just shy of 2,000 downloads, made by Echo0000. This is a really great subclass. They are the person that made the Artificer mod, which is on console. So the Artificer, very popular class that a lot of people like, and I'm a big fan of. They did an incredible job with this. But they also have a lesser known mod, which I think deserves a lot more praise, because this is an incredible choice. So you get some cantrips, you get some spells, you get a class passives if you would like it, and you get 3 different subclasses here with the Blade of the Worm, the Path of the Worm, or the Herald of the Worm. So this is basically like a Dragon Knight, Wormsworn being a little bit of a different naming there, but very cool class with 3 unique subclasses. So at the start of your turn, you're slow to the first turn. Every turn a portal opens, increasing damage at all characters nearby. So there's some cool options here. You can breathe every turn, so you get breath attacks. And then the Blade of the Worm, you can smite using your Worm Oath. So yeah, we can take some, I'll just show you some different choices here. And you also get like elemental weapon early on, which is nice. Call lightning, class passives if you want to apply that, which gives you your breath attacks. And then we'll go ahead here with what this looks like. So you got your elemental weapon, and you get chromatic worm smite. So the smite's going to deal whatever damage type that you picked for your worm breath there. So we got fire breath, and then we got our smite, which is going to be based off fire. So that's pretty cool, being able to do a damage smite. And this uses dragon's blood, which we have 3 of, and this increases as we level up. What I like about this is it's almost like a paladin, but not evil, but kind of different. And then you see here we got a lot of different class passives. So I'll be doing builds on this in the future because this is a very cool class. You gain half of your dragon blood on a short rest. First time you cast a spell in combat, you get dragon blood. Draconic fortitude, gain advantage on constitution saving throws and intimidation checks. Deal 1 to 8 slashing using your action. You get the draconic slash or draconic bites. Kind of cool to get those. Repelling breath, you can repel force on enemies with your breath attack, so you can push them back, kind of like the Eldritch Blast. You can snare enemies with your breath. You can breath once per combat without using action points, which is cool. We also got our Blood Surge. You can use 1 dragon blood to give advantage to your breath damage roll. Advantage on damage is nice, so it just means you flat out deal more damage. Boil the blood, you can choose to take 1 to 4 force damage, and then when you receive a melee attack, the enemies receive 1 to 8 oath damage. Recover 1 dragon blood when killing with smite, which is pretty good. Worm's bloodlust, recover 1 dragon blight when killing 2 enemies in the same turn. Companion's last stand, once per battle when you fall below 50% health, you can summon a dragonborn warrior to help in combat. So it's also really good per battle too. Once per battle, when you kill an enemy, you can summon 2 ranged dragonborn warriors to help in combat. Companion's Battle Brothers. Once per battle, you can become vulnerable to all damage, so you can summon 2 ranged and 2 melee dragonborn warriors to help in combat. It's pretty good. And then also you can choose resistances. Nearby allies gain resistance against your oath damage. Nearby allies get 1d8 oath damage in their attacks. Nearby allies can fly. And once per combat, after you take damage, heal nearby allies for 1 to 6 health. And then also protect. Once per combat, after an ally takes damage, you take 1d10 force damage to give all nearby enemies, or all nearby allies, temporary health points. Pretty cool. So I'm just going to show that off, and then we get some further class features. You can choose class passives in terms of weapons. Great spell selection as well. So I guess I can only show this off in combat, but the evoke companions, I'd love you to summon in 2 melee, or 1 melee and 2 ranged dragonborns to fight alongside you. So if we were in a combat encounter, we could show that off right now. I might save that for later on in the video. I also want to show off the Oakheart Sentinels, which is another class that I think is incredible. So that was the Worm Swarm by Echo000. Oakheart Sentinels by Nightly ST. They've also made some other mods here, so the Faithbound classes. This one is incredible, and I think this one also deserves more love. It's only got 1,000 downloads right now, but they've previously made an Oakheart Sentinel class. I've covered it in my other videos. So here I summon in the Hyena here, and then I also summon in the Eagle from the Oakheart Companions, because they get a selection of Spirit Eagle, Tainted Bear, Blink Dog, Saber Cat, Winter Wolf, and Owl Bear. And then on top of this, they also got the Summon Warg, which is basically just a Badger companion. So 3 companions here, and then that's not even including the ones that you'd get at higher levels, so the Woodland Being and the Elementals. So this is actually a really powerful class with summons. It can get extra attacks, so it's honestly quite strong. Now to show off what this would look like in terms of summoning in the dragons from the Worm Swarm, I'll just get into a combat encounter just to show off what that looks like. So let's leave camp here, and then I'll be able to show that off, because you got to get into a combat encounter to be able to summon them in. So you're allowed to do that once per battle, and yeah, we'll just get into a combat encounter first to be able to do that, so you guys can see what it looks like. But I think these 2 classes are 2 of the most underrated ones in Baldur's Gate 3. With under 2,000, under 1,000 downloads, they definitely need more people trying them out, because they're just really well built, and I think they're going to be some of the best mods that are in the mod manager. So we're going to call in our Dragonborn warriors here. So here we go. They have 16 health. So yeah, they're not super strong, but you do get a few extra attacks out of them, so that's nice just to have something for some extra survivability. And we'll use our Oak Branch there to apply the extra damage to the weapon. They work on their own, and they're just going to attack enemies for you. Hamstrung, super nice. Applied that. So yeah, this is cool about the Worm Swarm. You get some different benefits, like you can call in different types of these dragging companions, so that's useful just for drawing aggro. I think this is a really cool class for a number of reasons, but yeah, the Worm Swarm and the Oakheart Sentinels, go download them. They're awesome. Both are being tested for console at the moment as well, so we'll hopefully see that come soon. But yeah, really, really fun to play as. Now we also have the Blood Rager, which is just recently added, and this one looks to be incredible. It comes with 3 subclasses. However, they are also working on a number more. So we have Fey Bloodline, Shadow Bloodline, and Undead Bloodline. But they're also going to be making the Aberrant Bloodline, Abyssal, Arcane, Celestial, Draconic, Elemental, Hagborn, Infernal, and Verdant. So lots of actions here that are unique. I think this mod is incredible. So we got our Fey Bloodline, Shadow Bloodline, or Undead, giving us confusing critical. Whenever you hit a critical hit, target must succeed a wisdom saving throw or become confused, which is huge. While Blood Raging, you get dark vision, are immune to blindness caused by magical darkness, which can be really useful with certain setups. And then also the charging attack of the Undead Bloodline. So I'll just show off the Fey Bloodline here, and we'll just go through some leveling. Basically, the Blood Rager is like a sorcerer mixed with a barbarian. While Blood Raging, you cannot be threatened by enemies at melee range, so that's pretty nice. And then also we get ourselves Blood Sanctuary, gain advantage on saving throws against spells that you or an ally casts. Pretty nice. And also Blood Casting, so we can cast spells while Blood Raging, and then we get ourselves some spells here. So not a whole lot of them, but things like Shield are extremely useful in Chromatic Orb. We also get ourselves a Feat too, and then extra attack level 5, and we continue to get more spells. The spell slot progression is not super intense, but it does good job for being able to attack as well as spellcast. When you Blood Rage, you may apply the effects of a beneficial targeted spell that you know to yourself without using an action or bonus action. The spell consumes a spell slot as if you have cast a spell, but you must have the spell slot available to take advantage of this effect. So you can even affect yourself with things like the False Life there whenever you go into your rage, which is kind of cool. There's not too many spells here right now that can really benefit from, but it's still an interesting concept for sure that I haven't seen in other classes. Feral Instinct gives +3 to initiative and can't be surprised, similar to how the normal barbarian gets their effects. Also getting Hold Person and Scorching Ray is pretty good because those two work together very well. Blurred Movement, when your movement speed increases 15 meters, you're not wearing heavy armor, you're getting the effects of Blur for 1 round. So whenever you go sprint, or if you're playing as like a Wood Elf, you get increased movement speed from there, so that can be pretty cool. And then also with this, we get Resilient Casting, add your Constitution modifier to spell attack rolls and spell save DC, and advantage on maintaining your concentration. So that's pretty cool. And also, I'll show off just some of the spells in combat here, so we'll just back out of that. And this uses Charisma as our spellcasting modifier. Just want to cover on that quickly, but yeah, you're able to go into your Blood Rage and then also spellcast, which is super cool. So nice hybrid class that I think works very well. Comes with a ton of extra benefits there, and depending on what subclass you get, there's obviously more benefits to be had, but I think that one's super fun to play as, and I just want to cover that. Now I just want to briefly touch on the Metamagic empowered spell. So this is something that sorcerers get, and previously this was meant to be in the base game of Baldur's Gate 3, but it didn't get made. So increase the cost of spells that deal indirect damage by 1 sorcery point to reroll their damage with advantage. So if you're doing something like Chain Lightning, which does 80 damage, you can use this and it'll reroll your damage. So if, let's say first time you roll 40, second time you roll 60, you get to use 60 for your damage. So this is cool, and it can also be used with other meta magics. So you can quicken a spell and empower it as well. So really nice. I wish this was in the base game. I love the sorcerer, so I thought I had to cover this one. It just recently got added. But yeah, the ability to add different hirelings I think is super cool. So if you wanted to add Orpheus, Vlekith, Cazador, Ketheric, Gortash, or Orin, you have the choices of adding any of these here. So these mods will replace a certain character on the list, as you can see there. So Orin replaces that one, Gortash replaces that one, Ketheric replaces that one. That is pretty cool. I think it's an interesting mod for sure if you want to add some of the more iconic characters into your playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. Another cantrip I just wanted to touch on is the Elemental cantrip. So this just gives you a bunch of different damage options, like Water Bolt, which does bludgeoning damage with a little bit of cold. Divine Bolt, Radiant, Thunder, Lightning Bolt. You basically just get every single damage type as a bolt type attack, similar to Firebolt. So I know a lot of people like Firebolt as far as cantrips go. This gives a different damage type for all of them. So very nice. Mistress spells, I briefly touched on this one. There's too much to go over. There's a lot of spells. That's all I got to say for that one. So with this, here's the full spell list. A lot of cantrips, a lot of spells, a lot of second level spells. Some of my favorites like Agonazar Scorcher. Level 3 spells, level 4 spells, and level 5 spells. You can pause this or go on the mod.io page. And then level 6 spells. Really huge. This mod was made by Random Killer here. There's also a 5e spells mod. I like both of them. They're both great. So yeah, I think this is incredible, and this will likely come to console because it's been put forward to be tested on the console. No timeline on any of these, but I just want to touch on that. Now, I'll go over this race class because this is a really cool one. So this is a really interesting class. It's the Brazen Race, and there's just some images here of what it looks like. Now, I can't show exactly what this looks like off in the game. I do have it loaded up here, but I can't show a couple of them because there is some minor clipping issues that may hold this back from console release. But however, I do feel like the creator will update this and get it kind of working properly, because you can see it does, a lot of the clothing do fit properly, and that's one of the things. Some of them it doesn't fit properly. So with this, it does have some minor clipping. You can see there, this is body type 2, and then for body type 4, there is also some minor clipping. Now it doesn't really change their clothing depending on what class you pick. So yeah, I think this is a really cool one. Now this has a bunch of extra benefits, like your strength is set to 28 there. You also have a very high weight and some different benefits there. So it's not the most balanced one, but there are some other races that I just want to quickly brush up on, like the Knoll race, which some people were asking about. The Owlin, which allows you to be an owl person. This is my favorite personally. The Mind Flare. Diva. I can't show the Goblin because of the clipping. The Archdevil, and does have a tail, some people were complaining about. And Automaton. So there's a bunch of them. Kobolds. You know, you got a lot of great options here. The Kuatoa being the most popular one that's been added so far, but yeah, we'll even see things like the Aasimar race get added too. So this is really awesome. Very hopeful for many more things to come. So just want to cover all of that there in this video. But to let me know what your favorite mods are in Baldur's Gate 3. I do feel like most of these, except for maybe the Brazen, will come to console, as long as they can get the clipping issues figured out. I mean, they also released the Kuatoa, and this one clips horribly, so it's hard to say. They may allow it, they may not, but in time we shall see. But I think it's pretty cool. A lot of these class mods will definitely be coming as long as they get tested and approved, which is, unless something comes up, they'll likely make their way to console. Now, with all the mods that I covered today, they are new to PC, so I'm thinking about a month or potentially longer, depending on how long and how many mods got added to getting tested on console. So it may take some time. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I just want to touch on some of these new mods because I've been asked about some PC mods that will maybe come to console. Just want to cover all of this in this video. So let me know your favorites in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Have a great day.